You start.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Darius.
And I'm Carmen.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to share with you 4 reasons why people aren't successful with infinite banking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you who may be tuning into our channel for the very first time, infinite banking is the process of borrowing from whole life insurance policy, a mutual whole life insurance company, instead of the bank. So when we say instead of the bank for our major purchases, when it comes to like our appliances or our cars, we want to borrow from a different source, which in this case would be life insurance.
And the reason behind all of this is because if you study our channel or if you know anything about the banks, it's all about making sure that you're controlling the interest, the volume of interest that's going and flowing from you. So that's all that we talk about here on the on the Wealth Nation channel, talking about infinite banking. But we wanted to come to you guys live today. We just wanted to have some fun and just be a little bit candid and just interview each other. So let us know also if you like when we ask each other questions off the cuff, because we just have a ton of fun just being authentic and just having fun with the topics that we pose. So if you guys are new, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that notifications bell so that you're notified when we post new videos. So again, so the title of this video is called 4 Reasons Why Infinite Banking Doesn't Work. Juicy. So really what we want to shed light on is why we feel some people are more successful with infinite banking versus others. And Darius, you want to go first with the first point?
So the first point for me, I would say discipline. Because I know when we initially started our banking system, of course, we were all excited about it, but then we made some mistakes. And it came from discipline.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is when you have a bill from the bank, for example, they send you a message saying that you need to make this payment. They send you a message saying when your minimum payment is due.
Yeah.
When it comes to our own banking system, we didn't necessarily create those things for ourselves, that automation into it. So I think the biggest thing for me is discipline. Is one of the reasons why a lot of people fail when it comes to infinite banking.
I totally agree with you on that one. Discipline is huge. And that kind of leads into number 2, I would say, which is the segue to mine, which is you bring in bad habits, bad financial habits. So along with the lack of discipline, the next thing would be is if you, and what I say is people start out with the greatest intentions, but at the same time, you still have to recognize that maybe your finances aren't perfect right now, and you need to get your finances squared away before you think about buying a policy, because we get so many people that are excited about a policy and either nothing happens with it, or either they get a policy and they can't maintain it because of those bad financial habits. So what I would say is curbing your bad habits first. And that was definitely something that we've gone through, of just understanding basic budgeting, the input and output of what's coming into our household, and really trying to make sure that we own it. Because when it comes to your own banking system, you got to be real with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, am I about to pay myself back this bill? Right. Am I going to pay myself this interest and this principal? Because it's really easy to not, because you're not, accountable to somebody else. It's really easy to not be accountable to yourself when you're the person that you need to be the most accountable to.
Right. And I would even say, take it a little step further, is when we don't pay ourselves back, we're just saying that our money isn't as good as if we were paying back the bank, for example.
Totally.
So we have to treat our money the exact same. There was a thought that I had that I forgot that I was going to say, but
so you're adding it in now?
Yeah, since we're live, we can't cut and start over.
I told you we're being authentic. Okay, so we have discipline, number 1. Number 2 is bad financial habits bringing into your banking system.
What I was going to say is the bad financial habits, we have to fix the cause of the habits that we make. Because let's take, for example, the fact that we get a large sum of money on a tax return, for example. Some people take their taxes and they spend it on something really
No.
nice and shiny.
Mm.
That doesn't do anything for us.
Mm-mm.
Now, the same thing happens when it comes to our banking system. When we're following it to a T, we end up having access to a ton of money. So if we aren't good stewards of our money when it comes to like our tax return, for example, then we're not going to be good stewards of our money when it comes to having access to a large amount of cash.
With oh man, we can go a lot. We can go way deep into that. It's true. It's true. Anytime you get any sort of financing, any sort of funds that come your way, what are you doing with it?
Yeah,
I would say that's the first thing. And thank you for everyone who has made a comment in the chat, and totally agree with Cindy talking about being honest with yourself, because that's really the biggest thing. You have to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we feel that people go into banking with the best of intentions, but at the same time, when stuff hits the fan, how are you going to act? Because finances are constantly moving.
Yeah, the better you treat your finances, the better it'll treat you. Right?
Nuggets.
So the third thing that I want to talk about when it comes to one of the reasons people aren't successful with banking, I will go to budget. We underestimate how much it costs us in order to do our banking system, to fund our banking system. We may say that
yeah.
Because we got a large sum of money put into our possession, we say, okay, I got $20,000 to start this policy, but then next year comes, you only got $5,000. So understanding our finances ahead of time would make this whole thing a lot smoother for you, because when it comes to identifying how much you want to spend on your policy, it's separate from the amount of money that you're going to be recapturing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I save $5,000 a month, or let's say I save $5,000 a year, that would be the amount of money that we put into our banking system as deposits. Now, when it comes to the money that we're recapturing, let's say a credit card, then that's totally separate, because we're saving money and we're still maintaining our expenses, our monthly expenses. So it works the exact same way. The only thing we're doing is of course changing direction. Yeah.
And so I think it's important to state, so what Darius and I are really talking about first and foremost is just
knowing your numbers,
having a good financial health. And so if anybody is struggling with your financial health, then in the description below, once we post this video officially, we'll put the link to just our Finance 101 course. We call it the Blueprint. And that's really what we feel is necessary for people to understand and wrap their heads around numbers. Because if you don't know your numbers, then you're just digging a bigger hole for yourself when you get into banking, because you're going to have this limitless supply of cash, and you really don't have many rules or restrictions around it.
Right.
So if you're interested in trying to get better with your money, have better financial health, then we'll definitely say click on the link below in the description for our Money Blueprint course, because that is important. That is the foundation that you need before you get into banking. So we've talked about discipline, bad financial health, and then also budget. You don't have a budget, meaning you don't understand those things that are going on. So the next thing I would say is, and I'm surprised you didn't say this because you say this all the time, is you're trusting in others to take control of your financial future.
We're giving up control to others.
Or no. I mean, for example, somebody comes to us and say, Carmen and Darius, I want a policy. We will absolutely give you the best policy for banking, but what are you doing with the policy? Because after we give you the policy, it's up to you to do something with it. You have to create cash flow. You have to reduce your debt. You have to keep the money moving. We aren't going to keep the money moving for you. So what are you going to do with it? What I was saying is the lack of fruition or fortitude to do something with the policy, because too many times we feel people get so focused on the policy. What's my dividend rate? What's my return? What's my growth every single year? And it's like, the policy is going to do its thing. What are you doing with the money is the conversation that we really need to have, which is what infinite banking is. The policy is one thing. Infinite banking is what happens when you get your first loan and start running with it.
Right, because here's the thing, when it comes to banking, you can have a policy designed for max cash value and infinite banking and all the bells
and the best dividends with the top 4 companies, whatever it is,
and not do anything with it, and you just have a life insurance policy. Mm-hmm. Now, we can take a crappy life insurance policy that isn't designed for cash value and do more with that policy than you can with a policy that you haven't done anything with.
True.
So all that is to say that in order for you to be doing infinite banking, you have to actually physically be doing something with it. And a lot of times when it comes to people that you work with as far as finances, you don't give them all the information they need to help you be most successful. So if you're not going to give people all the information they need to help you, then you have to really start taking this seriously for yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you want to own your own, it is a business. So you want to treat it just like a business so you can get those results. So when it comes to discipline, when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to putting your faith in someone else, you don't necessarily want to do that. You're creating a system, a business for yourself, and all that's incorporated in maintaining a good business. There's 2 businesses that you're supposed to be in. Your business that's bringing you the cash flow, and then your banking business, which is your financing piece.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So with that part, when we're talking about the control, is not only with banking, this happens with investments. This happens with the bank. You keep your money in the bank. What are you doing with it? And with investments, you may work with a retirement plan. You may work with a stockbroker, whatever it is. But again, you're still trusting in somebody to do something with your money when it's your money in the first place. We were just talking to a client about this, of how you are the boss. You know what I'm saying? You're the boss. We're just here to support you and provide the products that you need. You're the boss. So you should be coming to us and your financial professionals saying, how can I increase more cash flow? What do I need to do? I looked at this thing on YouTube. Do you think I can do this with my policy? I found this, I found that. Like, your financial education is just as important and just as necessary as the work that you put in to find infinite banking in the first place, right? It doesn't just stop. I got my policy, now I'm good. You have to continue to educate yourself to make sure that you're maximizing your options.
And honestly, in the whole scheme of things, infinite banking is really a small piece. Because when you think about the things you want to accomplish, the banks are in a variety of different businesses.
Oh yeah, always.
So we have to do the exact same thing. We have to be in a variety of different businesses in order so that we can get those same results. Because if we're talking about replacing a bank, that's not an easy feat that we can accomplish in 1 year, 2 years.
Not at all.
It's a mindset that we also have to take, and we really have to understand what the banks are doing. And in some cases, that even means going into your bank and establishing relationships, for maybe they can give you some ideas on what you can do to help further your banking system, because the banks want to give you money.
Yeah.
And when you don't need money, that's when they want to give you the most money. So take advantage of it.
What's happening now in our economy? Yeah. Interest rates are low.
Yeah.
Money is cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So what are you doing with those options? Besides getting into consumer debt, we're talking about strategic debt. How are you using strategic debt to flip some money, to make some money?
Right.
Awesome. Well, I want to look at some of the comments that we have here. I'm also going to put the blueprint link in the chat. Darius, why don't you go ahead and read some of the comments while I'm posting here?
Okay, so one comment was Denzel talked about knowing 4 basic numbers before he could help you. Yeah, that's absolutely. You need to understand your income. You need to understand your expenses. I don't remember the other things that he said, but income expenses is what, and the difference between the two is your cash flow.
Yeah. So for us, we would say, so you need to know your income. You need to know your output as far as how much it costs you to live. We need to know how much you're saving, and we need to know if you have money elsewhere. So do you have money in retirement that's not doing anything? Do you have money that's parked away in investments that's not doing anything? How can we utilize all of the capital that you're sitting on to maximize your efforts? So I would say those are the 4 things that we routinely talk about. I'm not exactly familiar with everything that Denzel talks about, but I'm sure it's very, very familiar since we're all aligned with everything that we do. So just so you all know, I put the money blueprint in the chat so that you can see it. If you want to grab it, go ahead, get your financial literacy on, people, because today is a new day.
Hola, David.
What's up, David, our homie in Colombia? Miss Parker, what's up? We knew that you were already going to be on. Hello, Kat. And let's see, Crypto Carl from the UK. Thank you for joining us, sir. Sajid, cheers to you, brother. I was just texting you earlier. And what up, Kwan? Thank you so much.
Mr. B Fit Nominal himself.
Go check out Kwan if you're trying to get that, if you're trying to look good, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Kwan was our trainer when we were in Phoenix for 2-3 years while we were there. We love him, so check out him because he has a lot of great online programs. So in this amazing time that we're in, you might need to be home. He has some home workouts for you.
Yeah, thanks to Kwan, about 2 years ago, we did a 5K every single month. Thanks to Kwan and him helping us out with our fitness.
Exactly. And that's another part of owning your own lifestyle. So I hate to go down a little rabbit hole, but I'm going to go there for a moment. When we talk about like everything that's happening today, like we said, the 4 reasons why people aren't successful with infinite banking. It's not just because you have the poor financial health. It's really the ownership. It's taking ownership of your financial goals. Do you even have financial goals to begin with? Do you have health goals? You know what I mean? Do you have happiness goals? Or are you just waking up every single day, going through the motions and expecting a different life for yourself? So the reason why you may not be successful in any aspect of your life is because you're not taking ownership. The whole reason why we say own your own lifestyle in this nice little shirt, Darius, can you display it for me, sir? Is because you have to own every facet of your life. Health, wealth, and happiness, people. What are you doing to take control of each one of those aspects? Because at the end of the day, really, money is going to affect everything. If you're trying to get your health right, how are you going to pay for that? If you're trying to get your happiness right, how are you going to pay for that? If you're going to get your money right, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to get that in order? Money affects everything. So what are you doing today? Put it in the chat. I'm curious. We're having a conversation today about money. What are you doing today that's going to help you with your money tomorrow?
Right.
That's all we're talking about is baby steps. Not to take from Dave Ramsey, but it's just little steps here, little steps there, progression. It's always about progression, not perfection. And
at the end of the day, what infinite banking to me is about, has nothing to do with the life insurance policies. That's just a vehicle. What you're really trying to accomplish with infinite banking is interest and taxes. Interest and taxes. Think about how much money we spend on interest to other people if we are in debt to them. Think about the amount of debt or interest the United States government is paying on their tab. Who's paying for it? The taxpayers. We are. So what we want to do is position ourselves to take care of interest and taxes.
Interest and taxes.
Interest and taxes.
Interest and
if
taxes.
you get one thing from this video, the point of infinite banking is to take care of interest and taxes. We can control our interest, and by controlling our interest, we can also put ourselves in a position to control our taxes just a little.
And take advantage of tax-free growth inside of our policies. Okay, guys, so we're just going to wrap up. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined us today. But again, making sure that you understand, if you're not successful with infinite banking, or you know somebody who hasn't been successful with infinite banking, or should I get into this? The one thing that Darius and I are always going to preach on is, do you have discipline? Are you going to pay yourself even when you don't want to? Number 2 is, are you bringing in financial baggage into this new relationship? And if so, we would strongly suggest that you fix that baggage. Go talk to somebody, go get some help, go get the money blueprint. Making sure that you know, can I make a $5,000, a $10,000, a $20,000 commitment every single year to this banking system, and being honest with yourself?
Yeah, I would say that's huge, because it made me think of a question that we got. Why not our first policy was $10,000, and right now we have 5 policies. So we spend $54,000 a year just on insurance premiums. Now the question for us was, why not just start out with a $50,000 policy? Well, when we started our policy, we only had in our budget $10,000. We were saving $10,000 annually. So that's what we started with. We knew that we can maintain that, but what happened was once we started getting involved with and taking advantage more of our financing opportunities, then we started making more money. We freed up more cash. So that allowed us to get more policies. Now, we didn't know this was going to happen to us where we're saving 5 times more than where we started out 2 years ago. So what you want to do is start where you are with the mindset that you have, because it's going to grow exponentially as you start understanding your finances. And understanding your finances and infinite banking opens up the door for you to better understand other aspects of financing, which gives you a better opportunity to take advantage of your personal taxes or taxes through your business. Even understanding interest rates and contracts. All that's a part of you better understanding your financing and putting yourself in a situation to where things make more sense for you. When you are presented with an opportunity or a deal, you understand what goes into play for that particular deal, whether it's you're doing something online, whether you are doing mobile homes, whether you're doing construction. It's all connected.
All connected. And then wrapping up with the 4th point of just stop trusting in other people to take control of your finances and make your money work for you, because it's all about ownership and it's all about owning your own lifestyle. What piece of this financial puzzle are you going to own? Because we talk about money being a game. So do you want to win Monopoly, or do you want to get sent to jail for $200, or do you want to dread going by Park Place and
because somebody else owns it?
What's the other one? Park Place and help me out. Boardwalk. Yeah. Do you want to have to squeeze your butt cheeks every time you go by Park Place and Boardwalk? I don't think so. We need to get rolling with this. So let's look at some of the comments that are coming in.
Oh, one question was from Sam. So in your words, which one works better? Give us a little more detail on that question.
Excuse me. Yeah, Sam, what are you referring to? Which one works better? So Jasmine's talking about researching lines of credit. Fantastic. What are you going to do with those lines of credits, Mr. Jasmine? Everyone else, Mike Brown, thank you. Interest in taxes, reiterating what we're talking about.
Interest in taxes.
Phil talking about watching your video every day makes me more knowledgeable. Thank you, sir.
Let's go, Philip.
For your viewership and your support. Sam, what you talking about? Oh, that's the same question. Which one works better? I have health and lots of joy. I am here to complete my life triangle.
There you go. Health, wealth, and happiness.
There we go, Kat. I see you. And then thank you from the Luna family. You're welcome, Luna family. Thank you for watching. JT is creating better habits and secure your finances in the future. Yes, it's just about that. Creating better habits and securing your finances in the future. There you go, JT. What's up, Jamar? Good morning.
Good morning, Jamar. What's going on?
We saw you cop that other t-shirt. Thank you, fam. Thank you. We appreciate that. If you guys don't know, we actually sell these t-shirts. And so it was really funny because Jamar, he's racking up some of the t-shirts. So he's going to be swagged out. Come on. You already know what I'm talking about. Don't squeeze those butt cheeks. And Monopoly. How many times have you guys beat yourself up in Monopoly because some people are making some powerful moves on you with the bank and you lagging behind? Maybe some of us just need to play Monopoly again just to get a little refresher of the assets that we need to start taking charge of, because we did it just the other day and it was totally fun playing Monopoly. Let's see, George, you are on point with those reasons you're pointing out. Thank you. What up, Marissa? You guys, Marissa, where are you at? She has I think like 200 more subscribers that she needs before she gets 100,000 subscribers. Marissa Romero, go YouTube her, go subscribe. Bless her with your subscribers. She teaches you how to maximize your efforts on YouTube so that you can start creating that passive money. That's what we're talking about, right? Cash flow. Go check out Marissa. We love her. And she is about to hit 100,000 subscribers today, tomorrow. It could be any minute now. What else? What other questions do you have? Marissa's talking about pay yourself first. That's the most important thing that we have taught you. Oh, thank you, Marissa. I think that's a huge topic that we need to talk about. Paying yourself first. Again, these disciplines with the 4 reasons that we were just talking about. Are you paying yourself in any one of these? That's I'd say that's reason number 5. You're not paying yourself. Thank you, Marissa. That is number 5. I'm declaring that. Because again, these financial habits, if you don't have the money to pay yourself, how are you going to pay for your premiums?
Right. And understanding the difference between savings and investing. Your 401k, your retirement plan is not a savings, it's an investment, because some of us have lost a large percentage of our retirement just in the past few months because of the coronavirus. So that is an investment, not a savings. Our savings is something that doesn't take any risk, which would be like our savings account or our life insurance policy, because of the guarantees that you always earn money inside your life insurance policy. So savings means no risk. Savings is what we want to do first. We want to pay ourselves first so that we can utilize those funds to put ourselves to do investing, to take on risk later, once we have taken care of all of our expenses.
Once we have some money.
Yes, once we have money.
Once we have money, let's talk about investing. Stop trying to invest before you got money. Only if you know how to flip money without needing money.
Right.
That's a whole other thing. So I am curious, ladies and gentlemen, we have a question for you. We're just experimenting with this live. Do you guys want to see us live again? Do you want this to be like a reoccurring thing, pop in randomly, or do you want to hang out with us live? We can pick a day and make sure that we all connect and come together and just have some currency conversations to start your week off.
Nice. Now, Kat asks us, which of your videos is the best explanation in a nutshell to share with family members? I would say
our masterclass.
Yeah, our masterclass. You can also do Become Your Own Bank. You can also do How Does Infinite Banking Work? 1, 2, and 3. How Does Infinite Banking Work? Part 1, 2, and 3. Become Your Own Bank. And in any of the videos that we share in the description, there's a masterclass. I'd share that with your family, because that takes you from the ground level up to really understanding banking. Marissa's talking about, hell yeah, we do. Thank you, Marissa. So maybe we will come back next week live. Okay, this has been the best. Yes, yes, come back. Thank you, guys. We've been struggling with this. Do we want to do this live? Will people even show up? But thank you. We almost have 50 people this morning, and we just kind of woke up and was like, yeah, let's do it live today. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I would also like to give a special shout out to Mr. Denzel Rodriguez. Yes. For the interview. Thank you very much for doing the interview with us. It really opened our eyes and our mind to just more things that you could do with Velocity Banking. Also, special shout out to Mr. Garrett Gunderson, author of What the Rockefellers Do. Another eye-opening experience, just understanding what he's doing with his family in order to pass the baton or pass on the legacy. What I learned is that the legacy that you create for your family isn't just monetary. It's not just having a trust fund. True. What you want to do is pass on knowledge. Knowledge is more important than money, because who's to say 100 years from now we're even using money as we know it now? So if they have the knowledge, they can create that whatever currency that is and put that into the family. So legacy is about the knowledge that you're able to share with the next generation. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. And as you guys see, like with the 2 interviews that we did with Garrett and Denzel, we are living proof that we're still educating ourselves. You know, what we know about him, we know about Velocity Banking, we know about Garrett's cash flow system. But if anything, we just wanted to be able to expose you to these individuals so that you can continue to learn from other people who are doing similar things to
to create cash flow. So it is up to you to continue your financial knowledge. All of these books that we have back there, those are all financial books. We become nerds on the financial world. And if you go to kit.co/Wealth Nation, that's our online bookstore of all the books that we recommend when it comes to just financial literacy and infinite banking. So we really try to just equip you all with as much knowledge as you possibly can handle, because really it's all about knowledge transfer. If we can help transfer any knowledge to you, it's really just about what you do with that knowledge to make some money. Right.
And another thing that I want to share with you is the foundation of your banking system, of course, is the discipline of budgeting, taking control of your finances. That's amazing. The reason why you want a good, solid foundation is because the more money you make, the game changes. What you have access to changes. So as your knowledge and your preparation for being able to take on the understanding of these different formulas that you come across is when it comes to finance, the more money you have, the game changes, and the more money you have, the easier it is for you to make more money. So it doesn't get easier, it gets a little more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you were understanding math for the first time, we start off with the foundation of add, subtract, multiply, and divide. My dear Aunt Sally, if you guys remember that. So
not my dear Aunt Sally.
My dear Aunt Sally. But then as you have that solid foundation, it just adds on more to where you start getting into the geometry,
algebra.
You start getting into the calculus, you start getting into the different types of math. Now, finance also works like that. What we have to really do is have discipline, understand our budget, and take control of our finances, which is the bare minimum, so that when we start adding other things on top of it, it makes it more easy for us, or we're more susceptible to the additional increase in funds that we have coming in our direction.
Totally agree. Awesome. Well, do you all have any other questions for us? We'll hang on for just a few more moments, but thank you all for joining us live. So we'll experiment with this. We'll definitely come back live next week so that we can make sure that we hold to our promise and see where this goes.
Yep.
But we've been enjoying just vibing with you guys. So thank you for hanging out with us today.
Absolutely. And just like Mike said, Mike Brown, interest and taxes.
Mike Brown. I feel like, wasn't there a rap song? Or no, Mike Jones. Mike Jones is the rapper, right? I just wanted to say that. You know how he always says his name. Anyways, we won't go there. Okay, what else? David. We love the thumbs up. Thank you, sir. All right, y'all. Well, we don't see anything else coming through, so we will holler at y'all next week. But we got some more videos coming up this week, so definitely stay tuned for those. And thank you again for all of your support, your viewership, and your kind words. And don't forget to own your own lifestyle.
Or someone else will.